So after I've recoded the data, I'm going to go back to R Commander, and I'm going to work with chick-flick2 because recoded data, the way that I like to work with it, where the variables or the names of the variables are easy to manipulate and type if I need to actually write some code, a little bit easier. So I have BJD and Memento versus Bridget Jones' Diary with an apostrophe and with some extra spaces in between. And so considering that, the first thing that I need to do for this assignment is to check on homogeneity of variance. The Levene's test is a statistical test that checks for differences in or equality of variances. You want to be able to say if you're running a t-test or an ANOVA, you want to make sure that the variances of the data that you're analyzing is equal. If it's not equal, then you have not met the assumption of homogeneity of variance. Because we said that the Levene's test is a statistic and it's based on variances, that's going to be found in R Commander on the menu statistics and variances appropriately to the right hand side, and you can bring it down to Levene's test. Click on Levene's test. You will see that I have arousal and film in blue. That's because I've just clicked on them a little while ago as I was going through this assignment. The book says ignore gender. So what we're going to do is we have arousal as a single variable. This is a continuous numerical variable, and it is the score for the level of excitement after watching a certain film. Film has two different factors, or it has two different levels, which are Memento and BJD. And so we're going to look at the distribution or the variances within those two levels of this factor. You will notice on the bottom right here that you have either median or mean. You may have had median activated. Median is, or the analysis will run a homogeneity test or the quality of variances based on the median or the variances from the median point in the distribution. And if you click on mean, what's going to happen is that the variances will be measured from the mean point of the distribution. That is simply what it is. For this case, I'm going to click on mean and I'm going to click on OK. And as I click on OK, I'm going to come back over to the console and I'm going to, this is the wrong console. I don't need to save any of this. I'm going to open up this console and I'm going to look at the results. So the Levene's test right here says that I have run chick-flick2 data, film, and arousal. So arousal by film. I've used the center mean to look for the variances of the distribution. And I have 1 degree of freedom. I have one group here, two factors, two levels in the factor film. And I have an F value of 1.89, which is interesting, but not as interesting as our probability or a p-value here, which is larger than 0.05, suggesting that the null hypotheses, because again, the Levene's test is a statistic that says that there is no difference. It has a null hypothesis that says that there is no difference between the variances of these groups. The null hypothesis is accepted. There is no difference between the variances of these groups. We can compare them safely. We have met the assumption of homogeneity of variance.